What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today in for a review, we've got Hostiles on 4K Blu-ray. I won't discuss any plot details, but Batman doesn't make an appearance. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the video and audio quality. Now for some tech specs. The movie was shot on 35mm. It's got a 4K DI. It's rated R. Runtime is 134 minutes. Aspect ratio is 235:1. So for those watching on a TV, you'll get those black letterbox bars. So when comparing the standard Blu-ray and the 4K version, I found a pretty big difference in overall quality. Sharpness and resolvable detail is pretty noticeable on the 4K disc. The burnt down house in Chapter 4 revealed tons of textures in the black and charred wooden remains of the house. Every little crack, nook, and cranny in the walls came across very clearly. The outdoor background environments were also richly layered, with blades of grass, foliage, and mountainsides rendered in fantastic clarity. I could even make out the peach fuzz on Christian Bale's ears. HDR brings up color saturation to the next level. The overall color palette seemed warmer, richer, and fuller compared to the more muted 1080p version. The cinematic sweeping outdoor shots looked amazing, with several shades of reds and oranges during those sunset sequences. This also isn't the brightest film, so there weren't a ton of spectral highlights or bold vivid splashes of color. That being said, some nighttime shots had some great contrast between either bright fire burning or the moonlight cascading through the trees. However, there were many shots that I did notice that seemed a bit dimmer than the standard version, albeit with a wider range of color. Black levels did look better with some good lower level shadow detail, but there were a handful of scenes blacks did come across somewhat muddy and grayish. The movie was also shot on film, so there is a fine layer of film grain throughout, and the image does have that very slight film-like softness to it. Now there are some very good sharp scenes, but if you're expecting 4K razor sharpness, you won't be getting it here. Audio was done in DTS HD 5.1, which I think is sad because theatrically I believe it was a 7.1 mix. But for only being 5.1, the mix was spacious and full of ambiance. The film takes place mostly outside, so there's always wind and insect sounds present in all speakers, and it really makes you feel like you're outside with those characters. There were some cool moments like in Chapter 15's shootout, with some very good directional sounds moving between channels. Bass levels were felt during the few action scenes, and dialogue was always clean, so no issues there. So for audio, I'd have to go with a 7. I think they should have went with a 7.1 mix as a minimum to fill out the gap in the back of the room. Otherwise, this isn't an effects heavy film, so the 5.1 mix was just fine. For video, I'd have to go with an 8.7. Black levels were a little suspect at times, and there were some soft moments, but overall, sharpness and clarity I thought were clearly better than the standard disc, and colors looked amazing at times. If you're a fan of these period piece films, I think it's worth a watch, and it did look quite good. Now if you're interested in grabbing this disc, I'll leave a link in the description down below. It helps out the channel by using those links, which helps us bring you more content like this. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up, and let us know what you thought of the movie. Be sure to check out our social media links below, and if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys again in the next one.